Hey guys! So, in the summer of 2021, Turkey experienced massive, horrible forest fires with extreme results. Many countries came to help and sent firefighting planes and helicopters to Dalaman and Antalya. Firefighting helicopters work similar to a bucket of water, just bigger and higher up. But planes that gather water in their fuselage mid-flight are something to behold. Just look at this. Isn't that amazing? So there aren't many planes like this, and they are only now gaining their missed popularity. Why missed? Before World War I, the number of these so-called hydroplanes made up about 15% of the total number, whereas now it's under 1%. And there's an explanation. At that time, airports, air bases, actually, were very rare, and the best solution for difficult-to-reach areas were seaplanes that could land on the water instead of rough terrain. Hydroaviation played an important role in the development of airlines in Asia, Africa, South America, Oceania, and in geographical research of all kinds. The legendary transatlantic and round-the-world flights in the 30s were done by hydroplanes. The stars of hydroaviation at that time include the American two-seater amphibious biplane Loening OA-1, built for the U.S. Army. It was a two-seat biplane weighing 2.5 tons with a single float chassis and stabilizers under the ends of the lower wings. To use it at air bases, the plane was fit with a wheeled chassis and a ski on the tail, and it also had special equipment to be launched from Navy ships. The most effective flying ship to have ever been made may be the giant Dornier Du X, built in Germany in 1929. This boat is 131.40 feet long and has an average width of 11.5 feet. Its max takeoff weight is 61 tons. Its engine was made from 12 radial engines with Siemens Jupiter air cooling that could produce a max of 525 horsepower each. The engines were tandem in 6 engine cars. It could comfortably fit up to 100 people independent of the length of the trip. Now, let's return to the present. Not everyone knows that regular fires in Serbia's taiga forests and far eastern Russia are threatening the world's climate. In just 2021, 44.5 million acres of forest burned, which is about the size of Belarus. The same thing happened in 2022, and the taiga is burning along with towns. This horrible situation has been going on for over 30 years, and it's becoming clear that a country like Russia needs powerful firefighting planes urgently. The project for the BE-200 hydroplanes first appeared in 1990, and after a few years, gathered dust because Russia had no funds. Its first working flight was finished in 2003. Now, the cockpit doesn't look like your normal civilian plane's one. It looks more like what you'd find in a fighter plane. The BE-200 Altair jet hydroplane can take off and land on land and water. It even has an anchor on board. Its power block has 2 double-flow turbojet engines developed by the Ukrainian company Progress. But since February 2018, Russia has needed to find an alternative because of the embargo on important Ukrainian power systems. It only needs a 1.1-mile-long cement runway to land on land, and a 1.5-mile stretch of water to land on water. Additionally, it isn't bothered by waves up to 4.3 feet tall. The motors and compressors in the engine are above the main wings to protect them from the water. It can reach speeds of 93 to 118 miles per hour in its hydroplaning mode and can gather 12 tons of water in 8 containers that are under its cargo hold. The cargo hold also has a 1.5-ton container filled with fire retardant. The plane's max carrying capacity after gathering water in hydroplaning mode is 43 tons. Its max speed is 453 miles per hour, but it probably won't put out any fires going that fast. When it's time, It flies at 155 miles per hour over the blazing fire for about 1 second to drop the water. Its water dumping system is extremely impressive. It has 2 groups of water tanks, and each one has a left and right tank split into 2 sections by barriers. Each section has a gate to dump water and drainage pipe connecting the tank to the air. The pilots should have certain skills like correcting for the wind and more to accurately dump the water. There's nothing automated here. So why can't these good planes save the environment and people all over the world? Well, Russia has just 12 of these BE-200s for its entire territory. But we know that the country now has other priorities. So the US also regularly experiences forest fires. Look at the amazing solution American engineers made. Now, you might think this is a jet engine, but it's actually a modular, onboard fire repression system during periods with higher frequency of forest fires. In the last decades, there haven't been enough air tankers to satisfy demand, and these fire repression systems have helped. They can be installed on a military transport plane in just 2 hours. The systems are spread throughout the country, since the installation and arriving at location both take time. When the plane arrives at its destination, the Hercules leads the plane, which uses smoke to send signals on where to dump the fire retardant, and shows it how to escape safely. In just 5 seconds, the Lockheed C-130 dumps 2,900 gallons of the mixture and lands at the nearest airbase, and can fill up its hold for another flight in just 12 minutes. Since 2009, the Chinese corporation AVIC has been developing its own multifunctional amphibious plane, the AG-600 Jialong, meaning water dragon. In 2020, tests were done in the Yellow Sea off the coast of Qingdao. It gathered 12 tons of water in its gliding mode in 20 seconds. The AG-600 is 129 feet long, has a wingspan of 128 feet, and has a max takeoff weight of 53.5 tons. Now, Chinese sources says it's up to 60 tons, which according to Chinese media, makes it the best hydroplane in the world. A propeller hydroplane is 121 feet long, with a wingspan of 127 feet, and is analogous to the Boeing 737 and can fly up to 12 hours at a max speed of 310 miles per hour. But there's another Asian company competing to fill this niche: Japan, who has been providing its US-2 to the world for a while now. It's an upgrade of the older US-1, but until recently was the largest amphibious plane in the world, until the Chinese one was made. But the AG-600 hasn't been used officially yet, while the US-2 has 31 units in Japan's Navy. This plane has showed its impressive short takeoff and landing characteristics during test flights. Although the US-2 looks like the classic flying boats, it's a very modern machine. It's no surprise, since legendary corporations like Fuji and Mitsubishi are working on it. It has a glass cockpit, a digital navigation system, and 4 turboprop Rolls-Royce engines with 4,600 horsepower each. In its anti-fire mode, it can use an impressive 15 tons of water. The US-2 is very important for an island like Japan, since it provides flexibility in extreme situations like search and rescue operations. Its only negative is that it costs a lot from their perspective. The cost of the 6th one in 2013 was $156 million, but the Russian BE-200 Altair costs twice that, and it doesn't have Rolls-Royce engines or spec tech in the cockpit. The international market of amphibious planes isn't particularly large, so the appearance of any new player draws attention. The next competitor for these massive contracts is the Canadian company Viking Air Limited. It offers its clients a multifunctional amphibious CI-515, whose strength has provided results. This plane is a deep modernization of the older CI-415 from Bombardier. However, the update was done by a completely different company. The CI-515 is considered a multifunctional platform capable of carrying a variety of special equipment. Primarily, it was developed with an anti-fire modification with tanks of water on board. There will also be passenger versions, patrol ones, medical ones, and other amphibious ones. Like before, it will use turboprop engines from Pratt & Whitney, Canada, that have 23,080 horsepower each. Thanks to several new innovations, a 12 to 15% increase in fuel efficiency is planned. The use of biofuel is also being considered. The radical update has promoted the complex of onboard radio-electronic equipment, resulting in the CI-515 having multifunctional liquid crystal displays, a transparent cockpit device, as well as cutting-edge piloting and navigation systems. According to advertising material from Viking Air, the CL-515, in its anti-fire mode, will be the most effective of its type in the world. It can gather, carry, and dump up to 690 tons of water in 24 hours, lowering the cost of transporting it significantly. Viking Air is actively promoting its product on the international market and recently announced its first real results. Its first client is Indonesia. Their contract includes delivering 6 new planes. Well, that's all for today. Leave a like and comment, let me know if you found out something new, and we'll see you again next time.